Right. We're back in the game. So today, as most of you know, I was at the Green Tree Doubletree with incredible members of law, as in lawyers, as in those who sit on the bench, judges, the great district attorney of Allegheny County, Mr. Stephen Zappala, a lot of reporters, a lot of men and women in law enforcement, Amen Corner, Larry Dunn, Carmela Mullen. So before we talk sports, I have such respect for all of the above, and he happens to be a lawyer with that law degree from the University of Pittsburgh. There's some really nice people in this community.
There are. This is Pittsburgh is one of those big cities with a small town feel, and I think that runs its way all the way through the court system, the judiciary. Of course, is the court system, but it's really a town that once you get to know everybody, much like your Beaver County resources, Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, very much the same way. You want to get tied in as much as you can, and not that you get any unreal or undue favors, but it's just a real good place to practice law.
I don't know if Judge Marmo was there, but I was thinking about him today. Just so many incredible people. You know, before we get into some sports, I just want to take time to talk about why I have such respect for men and women in law enforcement. And I alluded to the audience today, and there were hundreds on hand, that every day I go to work because of what I do, more times than not, I'm involved in some sort of story involving criminal activity. But one thing I've noticed is how law enforcement, through it all, has always been there. And my thought process is every time I see a cruiser, every time I see a man or woman in uniform representing any branch of law enforcement, it never goes unnoticed.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame that, the things that had gone on, not so much recently, but in the fairly recent past with regard to some of the community issues that had arisen between the police and members of the community. And it's good, I feel like, that's kind of gotten behind us now, and that the police are being treated as they always should be, and that is with respect.
All right. Tell the folks about your practice. And he's a big part of our high school broadcast. And of course, Moon at Penn Hills tonight. I actually caught up with Ryan Lynn of Moon Township, wishing both of those programs nothing but the best. But you'll hear his ads there. Of course, he co-hosts with me every week on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. Diulus Law, a big part of it all. So tell him about your practice.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun in our practice. Depending upon the day, it's whether it's a family law issue, some probate issue. Usually I'm dealing with families in some fashion, and I'm happy to do that. I like to work with people, like to put issues to bed for them. Sometimes I feel like I'm a funeral director in essence, because nobody's really happy to see me. You never walk out with a good result because it's always got something going on. But we have had some recent good things, some good trial results recently, and some very nice settlements on the personal injury side that we've had some people that have been walking out of this office with some very nice smiles on their face.
That's a good thing. So let's talk Pitt. Hopefully we'll be smiling and wake up the echo of the glory days. Every time I come here, I see this book. Of course, Johnny Majors, the last time we won, and I say we because we're all in it together, won the national championship. The broadcast crew packing up today, getting ready to head to the big game tomorrow night against SMU. Boy, it's going to be one for the top spot of the ACC. But I'm very pleased with the University of Pittsburgh Panthers, Mr. Diulus.
Yeah, and we talked in August. We were like, what do we have to look forward to? We were kind of dour with our predictions of what to expect with the Panthers. And it really, we didn't have the expectation that we would have gotten all the way through October without Pitt having a loss and being in a situation where nobody's saying that they're in the NCAA playoff right now, but they're certainly in the conversation.
Oh, yeah, man.
And it's kind of odd. You look at the sporting lines, the betting lines for the game tomorrow, they're a 7-point underdog, which is kind of weird.
They're undefeated, and SMU's got a loss.
And it's really weird. Now, SMU is getting their quarterback back. He had been injured, so that could be an issue. But we talk about with our Walk the Line segment that there's no way that the New York Jets should have been favored last night, but they were, and they won. So I'm hoping that's not a trend that we're going to see going in a bad direction for our Panthers.
Holstein has been a pleasant surprise, but Reed running the football has been just a joy to watch. Let's talk about what he has meant to this football team.
Yeah, he's been really special in that he looks like just a small scat back type running back, but he's got some really thick legs and his rear end, he's good. I'm not saying he's Sam Clancy by any stretch of the imagination, but this guy's put together, and he's a powerful runner. He can see the hole. He can hit gaps, get himself up into that. But when he does confront tackles, nobody's bringing him down with one arm. This kid can really do some things that are extra special, and he's got that burst. He gets through that line of scrimmage, and one of the gentlemen that we sit with at the pit games, he talks about he's out the back door. If he gets out the gate, boom, he's gone. And they're not running him down. He's really an impressive running back.
Yeah, and a couple of guys, Smith and Maryland, who can run and catch the football as far as SMU is concerned. And as he mentioned, their quarterback is back, got 5 picks on the year. Holstein's got 5 picks on the year, pretty much similar as far as yardage, throwing the football. It's just nice to be in the conversation.
Yeah, it really is. And Eli scares me a little bit. He's not real protective of the football. He'll throw it into some crowds. He'll throw it into some guys' hands.
But you want a quarterback to have that moxie.
Oh, yeah. You want to feel like you're invincible. And that's, I have no problem with that. I would like it to get landing in the Panthers' hands as much more often, and he's done a nice job. They didn't have a great offensive output against Syracuse, and they'll be the first to admit that. But they didn't have a lot of opportunity to get things going. Every time the defense was on the field, they were getting the ball back and scoring touchdowns and making themselves go back out on the field. So that was a fun game to watch, a fun game to be at. I'm hoping for a good football game tomorrow night.
Panthers defense has to play big tomorrow.
And they have pretty much shown that they've got a pretty darn good defense right now. I like what they have demonstrated. Even with their rush guys, they've got some guys that they can like bring in and out of the lineup. And your guy Fitzsimmons, who kind of grew up on your street, man, the dude has really shown something. A lot of people thought he should have been an offensive lineman when he came to Pitt, but he's really shown that he can cause some havoc in the middle of that line of scrimmage. He's really been an impressive addition.
Talk about Mumfield a little bit.
Now you're talking about a guy that has put himself onto a lot of draft boards now. That when the season started, there were a lot of people that said Pitt might not have any draft picks this year. But Konate Mumfield has been a guy that he sees the football very well. He goes and gets it. He catches the ball well. They talk about receivers. They don't want people catching the ball with their body. Don't get the ball into your body. Catch the ball with your hands. Snatch the ball and put it away. And he does a really good job at that. He's got those big paws too.
You see what Wilson did last night for the Jets? Those 2 one-handed catches.
Those guys are amazing with
that touchdown catch.
That ability to just catch a football with one hand or catch the back of the football sometimes
in mid-stride.
Receivers are unreal.
They are. So hail Pitt, and we're just all hoping for the best. And it's exciting to be in the conversation. It was exciting. I stopped for a coffee after my appearance at the Doubletree for Amen Corner at Odyssey. Everybody's all hustling and bustling and getting ready for a big football weekend. Now, we'll say.
I have it known, ladies and gentlemen, he stopped for a coffee and didn't bring me one. I'm not sure that was really.
I should have brought you a coffee, shouldn't I?
And you're better dressed than me. This might be the first time that you've been better dressed than me. You win the best dressed.
Listen, man. What I love, though, I came in this office and he was doing his other thing as an NFL agent with Milk and Honey. Got the earbuds in, man. He's pacing back and forth. He's talking to some young player about this and that, what you need to do. And I was like, give me a chin strap and some shoulder pads. I'm ready to go to work. But just exciting to always be around this guy. And he truly is such a big part of Pittsburgh. Grew up in Panther Hollow. So, look, Pitt Law School, nobody loves the Panthers more than this guy.
Did you see the plans that Pitt's going to build going down towards Panther Hollow 3?
Yes, I talked about that with some kids from University of Pittsburgh. We do that show Next Take. They're going to try to level off Cardiac Hill a little bit. Yeah. $14.5 million.
I'll tell you, now Duquesne University has done an outstanding job at incorporating the buildings that are down on the Forbes Avenue side into the campus itself with some overhead walkways, some covered bridges and things like that. And I think that that's what's going to happen with Pitt so that you almost kind of level off a campus that really is, if you start from the bottom of Panther Hollow and you walk all the way to the top of where Pitt Stadium used to be and now to the top of the Cost Center that's up there where the parking lot is, that's like walking up Mount Kilimanjaro, man. That's a serious walk.
One of the hosts of Next Take, which is heard nightly on KDK with University of Pittsburgh students, one of them said to me, they shouldn't do anything to it. It builds character. And I said, that's my kind of guy. All right, let's just take a look, and we'll save our picks for Sunday. Jets last night. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to get them into the playoffs or salvage their season. That's only the third win of the year. But Aaron Rodgers, man, he had some nice throws last night.
Yeah, you and Teddy snuck me on that one. There was some inside information. I don't know.
I like Aaron Rodgers.
Fairbairn's missing a few. So first of all, the Jets, the Texans, they come down, they kick a field goal, they get a penalty for hitting the center in the head. So they take points off the board. They go down, they do nothing with the football, and then Fairbairn hits the upright. That's a bell that's ringing around the world. It's like Bobby Richardson, the shot heard around the world. That upright still stinging from that field goal hitting it. They just, really got me off to a bad week. I'm disappointed.
You got a lot more football, and let's just a couple of these games I want to look at. Winston looked so good against Baltimore for Cleveland. We kind of forget the talent he was when he came into the league. He's bounced around a little bit. He's still like 30 years old, got a lot of upside. So could maybe the Cleveland Browns evolve into what we thought they were going to be?
It's hard to imagine that they would. They'd been so far down, but it is very interesting to see that they were able to put together what they did. Maybe the Ravens were underestimating what they were going to get and walked into that game thinking all they had to do was throw their helmet on the field and they were going to win.
How in the world did Deontay Johnson end up in Baltimore, not with the Steelers?
Yeah, and I've kind of, feel like I'm a guy that's on top of all the rules. Apparently, the Steelers were not allowed to trade back for him for some reason. I don't know if there's some sort of weird deal.
There is or there isn't?
There was a rule that the Steelers could not have been involved in the trade to get him back. Not that they would have wanted him back anyway.
I'd want him back.
Right now.
All right.
Although, I'll tell you what, this Van Jefferson guy, he's actually done some pretty good things for the Steelers. He's been
remember that great receiver, Roy Jefferson, played for the Steelers back in the day. He was a player.
I do remember that.
That was about the lone bright spot, but he was a bright spot.
Well, yeah, in those days, yeah. But you think about it. Ted's buddy Calvin Austin has actually really turned on some Jets now, and he's become a guy that maybe that receiving core is not as bad as everybody thought.
BetRivers.net is the line that we always go by. Great Rivers Casino. Tua's back. They didn't win, but they look better. Buffalo right now spotting them 6. Josh Allen, is he the best quarterback in the game right now as far as what we've seen to this point?
No. Not with Patty being around there, no.
All right, so what else we got? We got Cincinnati and Vegas. Vegas getting 7.5. Is Cincinnati's season done?
No. There's too much football left. There's a half a year to go. And all with the NFL and all the wild cards that are out there, you need to finish 500 and figure out what you can do. So they can sprint to the finish line.
All right, Dallas, they're getting 3 against Atlanta. What do you do if you're Jerry Jones and you haven't won the big game in 30 years and you just gave your so-called franchise quarterback close to $250 million?
Yeah, what do? You punt, right?
Right. Come on, Greg.
They got to be crazily disappointed, and I'm disappointed in them because I keep telling you guys on the Black and Gold, on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show that Dak Prescott is a pretty good quarterback, and he lets me down week after week after week.
And by the way, he will be stocking up at the Banksville location on the commemorative can, the official beer of your Pitt Panthers, Icy Light. Coolest cans out there. Get them. The shelves are stocked, but they're going quick. Banksville Road, McKnight Road.
You think I won't be oiled up for this Pitt game Saturday night? I got the Dukes at noon on the Bluff. Nice. And all my buddies after the Duquesne game. I hope I'm still awake watching Pitt.
That's a nice experience, isn't it?
It's a lot of fun.
Rudy Field.
Our viewers should get themselves up there if they like football, old-fashioned football that you don't have to have too many, there's not a lot of TV commercial breaks and all that stuff that makes the game go long. I think we had a game 2 hours and 45 minutes there last year.
Nice.
You get in, you get out, and then you get down to Shells. See my buddy Jimmy Perry.
My man, Jimmy Perry. Love you, Jimmy. Got to get down and see you soon. All right. What else do we have here? How about this NFC matchup, divisional matchup, Detroit and Green Bay? Green Bay's getting 2.5. 2 pretty solid football teams.
The old black and blue division, right? I mean, Minnesota's done a great job when they lose their quarterback, their draft pick, their number 1 pick for the season in preseason, and they've just come straight across, and they feel like they just kind of kept on keeping strong.
Now, the people behind the Colts brand, our dear friend Ralph Sindrich used to go mano and mano with that family all the time. I got to believe somebody made a call from the front office when Richardson tapped out, and that's why Joe Flacco, it's not the coach's decision. Look, no offense, I've drugged myself to work, man, battered and bruised and bleeding. How do you tap out when you're making milk because you're tired?
He was tired.
Come on. And that kid's got so much upside.
We had a puppy one time. We had him out for a walk, and we were walking back toward the house, and he just said, I'm tired. He laid down in the middle of the street and wouldn't get up.
Come on, man. All right. Monday night, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Tampa Bay getting 8.5. Everybody's they're undefeated. I mean, even though they haven't lit the lamp, they're undefeated.
I heard somebody talking about that on the radio, on the fan this morning, that the Chiefs have been disappointing. I don't know, folks.
They're undefeated, man.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. Steelers have the week off. You think they're going to make a move to get another? I think this Jefferson guy. I think they're okay.
I think they're just going to stay put with their wide receiver room now.
All right, so now I got to ask you the last thing. My Yankees got defeated. It crushed me. I mean, I thought we would at least, when we had a 5-zip lead, and Garrett Cole forgets. Bad news bears. Come on, he forgot to cover first base. Don't blame that on the Rizzo. He should have got over there.
No, it's not on Rizzo at all.
No.
Right. Yeah, Rizzo fielded the ball. Like, what am I going to do with it now? But he wasn't the only guy that had a bad inning. That fifth inning was just
Volpe, Judge. I mean, it was.
Judge have a fly ball, and Judge is a center. Judge shouldn't be playing center field. He's terrible.
He's too big.
He lollygagged the fly ball, the sac fly. It was a sac fly, running tag from second to third in the 8th inning. He caught a fly ball in medium center field and just kind of like lollygagged a throw into third base that wasn't even a close play. I was disappointed to see him, the effort that he put forth. Now, he did finally hit a home run. He hit a double in the game, but it just wasn't nearly enough.
So here's the thing, and I'm all about agents making their money. And I get it, and I'm happy with our Pirates. So I wish they would spend a little bit more, but they're not going to go after Soto, that's for sure. But somebody will, maybe the Dodgers. So he ends up going to the Dodgers. I mean, now Ohtani's back, he'll be pitching. Glasnow's coming back, he'll be pitching. I mean, and you got Freddie Freeman, who's all world. How do you even compete with this baseball team? If he ends up going there ought to be somewhere that, look, you just got too much. I know.
I hear you. And I'm tired of seeing Tyler Glasnow walking around. He was hanging around at the All-Star game with his big, goofy-looking hairdo. I'm just tired of that guy. Get him out of there.
Hey.
He doesn't belong. First of all, if you're not able to play, you shouldn't be in the dugout.
Best hairdo last night, Devontae Adams. Do you see that hairdo he had?
I didn't.
He was looking sharp, man. And that post.
Was he the one that had the green? It had like green highlights.
No. But he looked sharp. My man, Aaron Rodgers. I love him. I know people think he's a little out there, but man, he still can throw that football. He was laying dimes on people last night.
He was, and C.J. Stroud didn't have it last night.
Pirates, I hope something happens. I mean, I hope something happens between now and next spring to give me something to think about, because it's tough just not even being in the mix anymore. Yeah,
well, now that the World Series is over, you'll hear some trade rumors and some talks and things of that getting heated up. So
one big splash. Give somebody a big contract.
They'll do that run of the mill. They'll sign somebody for $10 million and act like it's a big deal, and that's nothing.
Anything else exciting in the world of sports that you're looking forward to? You just got a big weekend of football. You love Duquesne. Why is it for a guy who went to Pitt?
I love the people.
It's because it's a Catholic university, and that's okay.
I love the coaching staff. I like the fans. I like the atmosphere down there. It's just really cool. You park down and you pay $6 to park. You walk up to the game. You get your $20 ticket and you sit there and you get a hot dog and watch the game. It's just a good time.
So I got to ask before I leave. So SMU is like back in a big way. They were gone forever. How all of a sudden have they made such a giant leap?
Well, you've heard of this thing called the transfer portal and the other thing called NIL money. That school has a ton of money. President Bush's presidential library is at SMU. That there's some really old school money at SMU.
Oil.
I guess it must be.
I get it. It's okay.
Whatever else it is, but there's a lot of money at that. It's a private university, Southern Methodist University,
right?
But they have tons of dough. And so, when they got caught one time, but now it's legal to do what they were doing years ago, they're backing at them. Now, you'll be interested to see that stadium. I've been there. It's not big. It's not bigger than any of those schools that you see in the MAC conference, but it's nice. It's very well appointed, old fashioned, artistry around it. And they have this big, kind of like a walkway that has it's tree lined and it's got grass in the middle, and that's where everybody tailgates and has their big shindig. So any Pittsburgh people that are going down to the game, get over there a little bit early. Maybe go over to the Texas School Book Depository, do the Kennedy.
Is it that
visit.
close to that?
Oh yeah. It's 25 minutes outside of Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, maybe some of them Pitt fans, we could put more of them in the seats at AccuSure. We need more fans. Come on.
Always going to be good. And
Undefeated.
they're going to make it up and say that they've got 57,000 people when there were 20,000 there. But
You think about Pitt Stadium every once in a while.
I do.
I know.
I do.
I never had a chance to go there. I always wanted to go.
You never were at Pitt Stadium?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, how many did it seat?
About 60,000, 58,000, if they put the bleachers down on the field.
I just want some Pitt gear. We got producers at KDK wearing Pitt hats, shirts, this. I just want something. Listen to me. There's nothing like college football. The Pitt Panthers have the best color scheme, the best mascot, the best looking uniforms, and we got some really rich history, and it's time that we start making some new history.
Can't argue.
We win this game tomorrow, get your tickets. Playoff bound. Who wins between Penn State and Ohio State tomorrow? If Penn State doesn't win tomorrow, they may never get another chance to win.
I don't know who the heck to root for in that game. It might be the first time in a while that I root for Penn State.
All right. Listen, Greg Diulus, I'm going to go behind and push the button. He's going to tell you one more time about Diulus Law, how you can find out more about him, because I don't want to do any editing today. I'm tired. It's been a busy week, so talk to him.
I look forward to hearing from anybody out there who needs some help, whether it's in a family law situation, probate situation, if you got a little bit of a snaggle with some criminal stuff that has gone on in your life. Please give me a call at 412-736-9638 or reach out to me on email, greg@diuluslaw.com.